you know. Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought Series right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you're here. And tonight is DXL, Dark X Live. Tonight, got a good show for y'all tonight. Brother BlackMaleTalk is going to be on, a brother that I've grown quite fond of. I like the stuff this brother talk about. I do. He going to be on tonight, and we may have one or two other special guests because y'all know I always got a surprise for y'all waiting in the wings. But yeah, it's going to be nice, man. Tonight, as y'all can see on the title, right down below here, we'll be talking about Wednesday with BlackMaleTalk, and tonight we're going to be talking about the karma of the mama drama. Now, this is a subject that I've spoken about before, because we often talk about, you hear on the internet a lot, you hear the talk of baby mamas, and you hear the talk of how baby mamas ruin children, how they ruin the community, so on and so forth. And I agree with that to a certain extent. To a certain extent, I agree with it. Not totally, but to a certain extent. But I do believe that a lot of times, some of the negative things that go on in our lives, some of the negative outcomes that take place in our lives, I do believe that often it's a direct result from some of our mothering or our lack of mothering. Because let's be honest, okay? I know black folks don't like to hear this, but a lot of us, we grow up without a father. We just do. So if we grow up without a father, who's raising us? Our mother is raising us. So If our mother is raising us, that means that her ideologies, her pathologies, her mind frame, her way of life, we're being indoctrinated with it. We are internalizing it. So anyone who thinks that they were raised by just mom and didn't have an effect on them, they're crazy. Okay. They're just nuts. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about it a little bit. Like I said, I often talk about this, and the reason why I often talk about this because I feel like we don't talk about it enough. Because one thing about us as Black folks, we have no problem indicting our father for not being there, for not sticking around, for not marrying our old mama. But we have this hard time indicting mom, no matter how bad she is, no matter how big of a drunk she was, no matter how much crack she smoked, no matter how many babies she had by multiple people, no matter how she treated us, no matter how she beat us, no matter how many times she called us stupid and dumb and told us how we look like our daddy and all this kind of stuff. We just can't find it in us to indict mom, and we won't even go as far as indicting her actions, because no matter what, mom is the golden calf, have you, as y'all have heard me say before. But see, me, I don't believe that. I don't believe that mom is the golden calf just because we fell out of her body. All right, because let us be clear, a lot of us, our moms wasn't shit. I mean, we're quick to say how our dad ain't shit, even though we don't even know him. But we lived with our mom for 18, 19 years. We know a lot about her, and she did a lot of crazy nonsense to us. But not one time are we willing to say our mom wasn't shit. And tonight, we're going to drill down on this a little bit. We're going to talk about this a little bit because I feel like it needs to be discussed, because I'm a true believer, and I know that y'all have heard me say this before. I'm a true believer that one of the biggest problems in Black society is that many of us are walking around with this resentment and anger that we hold deep down inside for our mother. And I believe that if we were to free ourselves of that, not only would we be a freer people, we'd be a freer thinking people, and we won't be held hostage by the dysfunction that has shackled us all these years due to the shit that we went through with our mothers. All right. Now, I know some of y'all may disagree with that, and that's cool. I mean, that's my opinion. That's what I think. All right. Because you have to look at it like this. Right. I titled this show tonight, The Karma of the Mama Drama, right? And I don't want to just talk about the karma that we inherit because of how our moms treated us. I also want to talk about the karma that she gets because of how she did things, because of how she raised us, because of how she treated us. You ever been walking down a street in any Black community or a geographical location that's primarily Black, and you see all these old ass women just sitting out there by themselves? They're in their 60s and 70s, and they're always alone. They're always without anyone around. Some of them, their kids don't even come around. Some of them, their grandkids don't come around. See, that kind of shit is their karma. You understand? That's karma from the shit that they did when they were younger. You understand? That's karma. And see, a lot of times when your mother is young, all right, when a woman is young and she's out there and she's trying to find herself, she's trying to, I don't know, look for something. She may be looking for Prince Charming. She may be looking for a husband, a family. She may be looking for the good life, the American dream, if you will. And what happens is that dream often gets shattered by reality, because reality will do that to you. Reality will shatter a dream. And what often happens is our mothers find themselves, I don't want to say saddled with children, but she often finds herself with children before she ends up married to someone. Okay. Now we use the term single mother, baby mama. I don't use the term single mother. I call them unwed mothers, because they're not single. It's them and their children. Okay. So they're unwed mothers, is what they are. They're mothers who no one has married their asses. So when you have these unwed mothers, right? And let's talk about that. While I wait for brother BlackMaleTalk, I don't know what happened to him. Something must have went wrong. Let me see what's going on with him. See what's going on with the brother. I'm about to call his ass on Gmail or something. But when she finds herself saddled with children, right? Oftentimes, and I'm a true believer of this too, and I know y'all may not want to hear this either. A lot of us, man, our mothers just, they didn't want us. I mean, it's not like they sat down with a man and they said, well, we're going to have some kids, we're going to build a family, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. No, no. A lot of times our mother was just out there fucking. And here we are. Here we are. A lot of us, we were just byproducts of our mother's hoeing, to be quite frankly, because come on, man, let's be honest. A lot of our mothers was hoes. You think all these hoes walking around here, okay, and none of them was our mothers. Some of our mothers was just hoes. In fact, a lot of us are products of our mother's hoeing. I mean, some of us are just straight trick babies. Let's be honest. Some of us are trick babies. So when these women went out and had these babies that they didn't want, does it come as a surprise that we were treated the way we were treated? Does it come as a surprise that we were neglected? Does it come as a surprise that we were treated as a burden as opposed to a blessing? I mean, it's just like if a kid wants a bicycle for Christmas, and instead of a bicycle, you give him a skateboard. Now, he may ride the skateboard, but he didn't really want the skateboard. He wanted a bicycle. So how do you think he's going to treat, excuse me, how do you think he's going to treat that skateboard that he didn't really want? How do you think he's going to treat it? You think he's going to cherish that skateboard that he didn't want? You think he's going to treat that skateboard with care, even though he didn't freaking want it? Of course not. And a lot of our mothers didn't want us. We just kind of came along. But like I said, a lot of us, we're just products of her out there fucking. That's it. We come along and now we're here. So now she's in a position where she has to take care of us. She has to feed us. She has to get us diapers. She has to provide for us, even though that's not what she wanted when she was out there chasing men. The last thing on her mind before she started having children was having children. You understand? The last thing on her mind before she started having children was having children. So now we're here. And now that we're here, these little people that she didn't really want, I'll say again, it should surprise no one that we get treated the way that we get treated, especially if she had the child by a man she really liked, but he got the hell away from her. If she had us by some old Negro that she really didn't know, she just let him come in there and fuck. Or she had us at a time where she was in the prime of her hanging, her drinking, her smoking, her partying, her whatever. We are the unwanted ones. We are these unwanted people who are forced to live with this woman. So this is why we get the broomsticks broken over our heads. This is why we get the beatings over everything. This is why the yelling, the screaming. Why? Because it's frustration, especially those of us who were raised with no man in our lives. Us and our 6 and 7 siblings. Those of us who grew up in houses where our mother had 6 or 7 of us by 6 or 7 different people. But she constantly dragged men in and out the house, in and out the house, in and out the house, looking for God knows what. Looking for God knows what. Now, that in itself indicates what? Irresponsibility, right? It indicates irresponsibility. Now, we don't want to say it. We won't say it about mom. No one will say, oh, my mother was irresponsible. But if they saw somebody else doing the exact same thing that they saw their mother do when they were young, they would call that person irresponsible. But see, me, I won't let mothers skate. I won't. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are a lot of women out there who tried really hard, took care of their children, raised them to the best of their ability, and did whatever they could do for them. And some of those children grew up to be decent people, and some of those children grew up to not be shit. Okay? Just like you have women out there who didn't do shit for the kids. And some of those kids turned out to not be shit, and some of them turned out to be decent people. But what I also realize and want to tell y'all tonight, that the raw facts is a lot of us were raised by women who not only didn't want us, they didn't want us. They conducted them lives that they didn't want shit else out of life either, because of their irresponsibility. The irresponsibility with their decision making, the irresponsibility with their own bodies, the irresponsibility of their damn vaginas, the irresponsibility with the men that they had around us. Because think about something that I talk about often on this platform. I often talk about the sexual molestation of Black children, because 1 out of every 4 black boys will be molested or raped by the time he's 18, and somewhere between 60 and 80% of black girls will be raped or molested by the time they're 18. And you know which children are more likely to have this happen to them? The ones without fathers. The ones who have a mother who has no male figure there. The ones who have no male protector, no male confidant, no male to go to talk about these things. 60 to 70% of the time, you're talking 6, 7 out of 10. So who is this stuff happening to? It's happening to children who are being raised by just their mother, which lets me know that oftentimes it is our mothers who is allowing this shit to happen to us. It's our mothers giving these people access to us. It's our mothers who are ignoring the signs, ignoring the symptoms, denying it, not believing the children when they're talking about it. Right? For whatever reason. Now we can go into these pathologies about why this happens, the reasoning behind it. But none of that matters, because all the reasoning in the world does not fix it. It does not stop it. It doesn't fix it, and it does not stop it. Now, I know often we have sat back and we've tried to figure out what we need to do to stop this, what we need to do to curb it, what we need to do to take preventative measures so we're acting as opposed to reacting. And I propose this. The only way most of us are going to find ourselves complete as people, most of us, the only way we're going to find ourselves able to kind of move on is, number one, a lot of us are going to have to forgive our mothers, because I think that's a big problem with us too. I think we carry a lot of resentment around inside of us because we have this thing with us that we just cannot criticize our old mama. No matter how bad of a mama she was, we just shouldn't criticize her. Not only should we not talk about it, we shouldn't think about it. We shouldn't worry about it, because, see, it's all shrouded under that old statement that we always say and we always hear: mama did the best she can. And in reality, a lot of our mothers did not. In reality, a lot of our mothers just did not, man. They did not do the best they could. They didn't. A lot of them did as little as they could. As little as they could. Not the best they could. She wasn't doing the best she could, man, when she let these dudes she was fucking come in and out of her house and molest you. She wasn't doing the best that she could when she sat on her ass and kept having you and having you and having you and having you, and never stopped to think once, damn, I can't take care of 2. I can't take care of 3. I can't take care of 4. I can't take care of 5. I can't take care of 6. She wasn't doing the best she could, man. It's bullshit. She wasn't. Now, people will tell you that, well, you know, she did this because, you know, of white supremacy and the white power structure. And you will hear all this kind of stuff. Maybe that's true for the first one. Maybe that's true for the second one. Shit, I even give her 3. But once she done had 3, 4, 5, 6 of y'all, and she don't have one of these on yet, that ain't got shit to do with the white power structure. They ain't got shit to do with white supremacy neither. What it's got to do with is mom's fucking irresponsibility at that point. All right? It's mom's irresponsibility at that point. Now, something we often do is we say, well, that's my mom. No matter what, that's my mama. But guess what? You also have a father. Unless, what's good, Brother Faulkner? I see you up there. You also have a father, okay? Now, you know the line, you know the old cliche line that I've been hearing all my life. Oh, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. That's what your mama like to tell you. That's what other people like to tell you about your mama. But also, without your damn daddy, you wouldn't be here either. But how often do you hear somebody say that? We have this anger inside of us, and we think it's all for our father. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe a lot of the anger we carry around has a lot to do with our mother. Now, of course, some of us, we have this angst towards this man. You know, this man that a lot of us, we don't even know who he is because her ass don't know who he is. But we have this angst and we have this anger towards this man. Why? Because we've been programmed by her to have it. We wouldn't have this anger for this man if we weren't programmed by her to have this anger. You understand? She has passed whatever frustrations, whatever disappointment, whatever lost hope that she has for this man. She has passed it down to you. Because if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have it. You understand? That's also an irresponsible mother. Because whatever problems she has with this man, she shouldn't be passing it down to you. But this is part of the karma of the mama drama. You understand? This is part of it. Because she wants to make sure that you despise this man just as much as she does. Let me say that again. She wants to make sure that you despise this man just as much as she does. And oftentimes, as children, we grow right into that. We grow right into that. We fall right into the trap. Because I tell people this all the time. If you grew up without your father, right? And you've lived your whole life with your mama telling you that your father wasn't this, your father wasn't shit, your father wasn't that. He's no good. He left us. He did this. He did that. I always suggest to people, go and find your father yourself, especially if you know he's still alive. If he's still alive, when you get to be an adult and get away from your old mama, go and find your father yourself. Get his story. You understand? Listen to his story before you pass judgment on this man. What's good, brother B.M.T?
Hey guys, what's going on? I do apologize for rebooting all the equipment. So I didn't want to seem like I was like a checkerboard or plastered all around. But I definitely want to get here.
Don't worry about it, man. I'm just up here running my damn mouth.
Nah, I definitely had to definitely make sure I get here. I said, man, I gotta get to Prophet of Thought. I said, it's all if I get to sit in with him or just catch his shows, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I see you
man.
come over to me, so I definitely want to start doing more where we start actually coming on and seeing and sitting down with each other. So I definitely want to start doing that more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on down there, man. I'm gonna get on down there. You know, I'm gonna get on down there, man. You know, I'm just waiting for the right time. See, you be on in the daytime a lot,
right?
Because I see you, like I get the alerts on my phone, but I'm usually knee deep in my work and shit, you know, because I run a power. Well, actually, I got 2 shops now, so
congratulations.
I'm usually sun up to sundown, brother. So, you know, I mean, nighttime we good. I mean, I'll come on any night you want me to come on, but in the daytime, boy, I be stumped. Especially this time of year, boy, it's nuts, so man. But yeah, I was telling the folks that oftentimes we have these mothers who have turned us against our fathers. And I often tell brothers, look, if you get to be an adult and you know that your father is still alive, my suggestion is you go and you find that man and get his side of the story yourself. Okay? You talk to that man and find out what happened. Don't base everything that you think of that man from what your mother said. Because what we don't like to admit, man, our damn mamas lie. They lie. They just do. They lie to us.
You're saying some pretty sticky stuff. That's
you know, they lie to us. Right. So you think that if your father left your mother because she was fucking his brother, you think she gonna tell you that? You think she gonna come out and say, well, you know, your father left, you know, because I was, you know, screwing your uncle. You think she's gonna tell you that your father left because her ass wasn't no good? You think she's gonna tell you your father left because her ass was hoeing? No, she's not. She's not. She's gonna tell you everything besides that. Now, I'm not saying that all of our mothers was hoes, but we know goddamn well some of them were. I mean, that's just the fact. There's no way there's all these hoes in the world and none of them was our mama. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. All right? So if your father is still alive and you're an adult, you need to go find out that man's side of the story before you start hating him as your mother wants you to. Okay? Because see, what happens then is karma, you know, karma of the mama drama. All right? The karma will come back to mom if what mom had told you all these years about your old man was a bunch of bullshit. All right? It's just a bunch of bullshit. Yes, karma will return to mama. All right? Because see, now mama got some explaining to do. But that's something she's not going to do anyway. She's not. These are things that your mother are never going to do. Let me tell y'all how it goes with your mamas. Okay? And those of you who have heard me talk about this before know exactly what the hell I'm going to say. But I'm going to say it again anyway. One thing your mother's never going to do, admit to fucked up shit that she did to you or allowed to be done to you. Number two, she's never going to apologize to you for anything, no matter how bad it was. She could have fractured your skull, fuck-ass boyfriends could have molested you. She's never going to say, I'm sorry for none of that shit. And also what she's not going to do, she's not going to really acknowledge that the bad shit happened. She's going to have amnesia about all this bad shit that happened when you were younger. Yeah, mom gets amnesia. She just does, y'all. I mean, it is what it is. I know this is hard to hear about mama. And I know this makes people uncomfortable. But see, X likes to make people uncomfortable. You know why? Because like I always said, we need to shine sunlight on this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've often told people that even if mom never admits to none of this bullshit that happened to us, even if mama never apologizes for this shit, you need to forgive mom for it. Why? Because that's the only way you are going to be free.
I agree. Really. I agree that because I've had to do that. I think I did a talk that you were sitting in on where I spoke to where I was talking about I was trained to defend mama but never daddy. I think you was there for that talk. It was very emotional for me because a lot of us, especially young men, we were trained as little guard dogs and puppies on mama. Even like how Tupac said, even though you was a dope fiend mama, you was a queen mama. And it's contradictory. How you a dope fiend, but you also but you're a queen. It's kind of contradictory of itself. But you know, we always heard your mama black in that middle. That was fighting words for us as black kids. You know, when they start talking about your mama, you got to fight. And the thing about it was the equation of how the black man has been removed from the black society so badly. The value of a man. Almost so where only time I see black people really come together is for a funeral. That's the most I see us show up. And the thing about it is, it's getting really draining. I think I just did a video just a few seconds ago about 66 dead in Chicago. It's getting really draining for black men because the thing is now it's like you can't. There's two sacred cows in the community that we've seen that we can no longer touch or talk about. That's the pastor, and that's the black woman. That's mama. And it's getting bad because as you start to get older, this black boy, I'm not going to say all, but the Ray Ray and Pookie black boy, he starts to notice certain tendencies that his mama is doing. And he wants to say, stop, mama. But see, now he's having a malfunction in his programming because mama could do no wrong. And because he wasn't raised under the tutelage of a man on how to check his emotions and balance it out, he's trying to figure out, okay, mama done had two men coming through this week. Mama says, do the right thing, but mama is cheating the welfare system. Mama says only God can judge me, but mama, you doing bad every second, yet you keep on telling us to go to church. You tell me that I'm a king, then why are you constantly searching around for different men? You see, after a while, this confuses the boy and how he should view his mama. And the thing about it was, I remember one time I confronted my mom and said, mama, I caught you with a man in bed. She slapped me in my face. But I didn't flinch. And I think that's when my mama realized that she could not put fear in me. And you see, this happens a lot. This is something that happens a lot in black homes. See, those black women realize at some point, they can't do nothing to that boy. That's one thing that and a lot of you black women, I know y'all can probably say, oh no, my son fears me. No, he acts like that. But when he gets out there in the world and starts acting a fool, you can't really check him. Because you and I know who been under that of a man. You step out of line and your father find out, that's your ass. Excuse me if I'm cursing on your show. But if your daddy find out, only thing mom had to say, wait till your father get home. That's it. You stopped. You stopped. But see, a lot of women can't say that anymore when they say, I'm mama and I'm daddy. Wait till your mama get home. So, because that instillment of fear and discipline isn't so much in them. Now, I'm not going to say that some women haven't been able to do it, but I'm sorry. The bad is right now outweighing the good. And the bad is starting to influence the good. Because guess what? The bad is making more seeds with the good. We got to be for real now. You can have that one good son, but I can tell you one thing about that one good son. He's going to lead the black community. He's not going to stay there. He's like, I survived. Why am I going to stay here and try to fix this up? So when y'all black sisters say, well, where's that good black brother? He been left. He's like, I see how my mama and all these girls get down. I'm not going to be around for this crap. Oh, y'all always wonder why y'all seeing a lot of these black men lead the black community, because they're like, I can't control mama. You see how if daddy could not get mama right, and only reason how I view most women is either A, I'm going to end up getting something close to how my mama is, or I'm going to get something that's far from my mama. See, that's something a lot of people want to be, a lot of brothers don't want to be real about. Would they marry a sister that acts just like their mama? Oh, I'm going to say something that I know is going to bother with y'all, because a lot of y'all brothers, we got to be real. We wouldn't. I said, mommy, I love you, but I don't know what man can ever marry you. I told it to my mama. Now, y'all can say I'm disrespectful. My mom was laughing. And she said, God's going to send me a man. I said, mommy, I like to believe that. But see, you too hard-headed. You don't want to listen to no man. I told that to my mama. I said, you don't want to listen to no man. She said, well, I make my own money. I got 3 properties. What man going to tell me? See, and when she said that, that's how I knew no man could check my mama anymore. And you see, I understand. I said, mommy, imagine me hearing this for 15 years. When you and my daddy split, that's all I heard you kept on saying. And you say, you wonder why my daddy walked away from you. And yet you told me that he was the problem. You see, that's something that a lot of you women don't understand. You see, you don't think your son ain't sitting there and tracking the notes. But then you wonder why that it's hard to get men to respect you. See, what you sow is what you shall reap. What you sow is what you shall reap. So when you say that you want a good man to respect you, ask yourself, you know what? What kind of mama am I today? So right now I'm just talking to the black women. What kind of mama I am today? If you say you're a good woman, then are you aligned with the proper alignment of what it takes to be a good mother? Young men and black men, I've been in the game for over 10 years now. So I can talk my trash. And believe me, I've had my times. I understand. I got 4 kids. I just did a video on school shopping. I just did a video for a brother. He said, I don't know what my old lady does with my money for my kids. I said, then you go with her. Go with her and see what she spend the money for school. If that's such a problem. You see, black men, y'all see, that's the thing about it. You see, you are too afraid to go talk to that woman and tell her what you want and what your needs. I know a lot of y'all, see, y'all ain't afraid of that cop, but you're more afraid of that black woman. I'm being for real now. Everybody knows if you say anything to that black woman, you're going to get a tongue lashing, and it could probably destroy you or ruin your career or something worse. We've seen it happen time and time again. I'm not going to lie. Me as a black man, I already understand. If I say something about black women and I say it incorrectly and I don't have no type of factual proof on my channel, they're going to flag me. They're going to come at me. This is not something that I have to guess on. This is something that I know, even Prophet knows. We have to come correct, and we got to tackle this at a source, and we got to know what we're saying. We're not talking about this from hate, Because whenever you talk about something dealing with the black mama or the black woman, a lot of people take it as who hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you angry at the black woman? Don't you know you were born from a black woman? Of course I know I was born from a black woman. That's why I have these talking points, God damn it. But I see I don't want my sons to have the same issues that I had with my mama. Y'all don't understand that? Like at some point, we got to break this cycle that is going on with single mothers in the home. I understand sometimes you can't help the circumstances. It's like I told my cousin. She said her man left her. She said, now I'm a woman with 2 kids. She said, Joe, what am I going to do? I said, then stop having kids. Stop having kids. If the next man who say he want to be with you, make him work for it. That means you already have your stuff together. When he comes to you, he better come correct. Oh, he ain't going to want to put up with me. Then he ain't the man that's for you. You take every man to your bedroom, you back at square one again. Your price value it's like a car being driven off the car lot. You already had 2. You already got two dents in you. So you got to keep. I'm just keeping it for real. I ain't trying. Listen. I don't want no woman to have to keep going. Listen, y'all gotta understand, as black women right now, society does not look at y'all as the top tier anymore. They may put you up there, but they playing the game with your heartstrings, and you already know they don't have no problem shooting us black men. Y'all saying that I'm making this up, but we already can look at it from time and time again. All the good black men are most likely to get shot. If we don't get shot, then somebody is going to most likely try to tear us down. That's why every day I pray blessings over prophet of thought. I said, man, please don't let nothing happen to this brother. But it's always the good ones that get attacked by not even the white man, his own people. That's the crazy thing about it. I literally did a video about a black mama pointing a gun at her baby and her baby daddy. You know the crazy thing about it? Black women were mad at me because I did that video. I had a mental health specialist and a black woman on there, and they said, well, it's postpartum. That's why she's doing that. We should sympathize with her. I'm like, what is for me as a black man to sympathize for a woman pointing a gun at her baby at her baby and the father of her child? How can I as a man sympathize with that? Because if I had done that, y'all would want me in the grave right now. We got to keep the energy equal, people. Go ahead, brother.
Well, isn't that part of the problem, though? I mean, when you have a woman who, and like I said at the top of the hour, I know it's some women out there who do what they're supposed to do, raise their kids the right way. I know it is. Okay, I know it's women out there because I know some of them. All right. I know some unwed mothers who do a pretty good job with their children. All right. Just like I know some who are unwed mothers and they straight ratchet and their damn kids is totally out of control. All right. I know those too. It's about a 50-50 split. I know about just as many unwed mothers who do what they're supposed to do as far as their kids concerned as I do unwed mothers who their life is a total wreck, and so are their children's lives. But isn't that the problem when we have these women who aren't even decent human beings? They're not responsible human beings. They're not conscientious human beings. They don't have a plan for their own lives. And you turn around and you bring another person in, and another, and another, and another. So whatever zero plan that you had before you had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes, whatever zero plan you had before that, now it's -1, -2, -3. It's less than 0. You understand? It's less than 0 now. So that in itself, to me, is an indicator of irresponsibility, because I believe one of the first things you're supposed to focus on as a mother is the children. That's what makes you a mother, because your focus is on the children, not going to the club, not being in the trap house, not wearing $500 wigs and weave, red bottom shoes, $500 dresses, chasing monkey branching from penis to penis. No, that's not, none of those things are supposed to be the priority. Once you are a mother and you have given birth, you're supposed to evolve. I don't care if you are some trap house hoe. Once you find yourself with child, you're supposed to evolve out of that. Because see, that's what they expect. That's what they expect men to do. Even when he finds himself with a child that he may not have necessarily wanted, he's supposed to stop whatever he's doing, no matter how old he is. He can be 16 or 60. He's supposed to go ahead and stop whatever it is going on and focus on taking care of that child and or that woman in many cases. But we have allowed women to take the position where they can have as many kids as they want, treat them like shit, have them by multiple men, have these kids living in the most deplorable of situations. I know I be in the ghetto, man. I be in the hood. All right. I be in the hood. All right. People from the hood work for me. All right. I'm in the hood. And let me tell you something. A lot of these children have miserable lives. They walking around with their head snappy, face crusty, looking like they've been rolling around in a damn dust pit. Their feet, their little feet hanging out their shoes and shit. And it's 5 of them. It's 6 of them. It's 7 of them. And all the while that this is going on, what is she doing? She's chasing men. She's on Snapchat. She's on Facebook. These people are fucking irresponsible. And these people are doing a disservice because, see, I don't think about them. I think about these little ones, okay? I think about these little ones, the life that they're forced to live. Because, see, they don't have any control over their situation, man. They don't have any control over how they live, where they go to school, how often they eat, the clothes they wear, none of that shit. They don't have any control over that. These fucking women do. These women do. And instead of focusing on the children, they're focusing on all the other shit. They're focusing on these men. They're focusing on their hair. They're focusing on social media. They're focusing on their shoes, their dresses, their boyfriends, their BS, while these children suffer. And that's the main thing. I mean, if you want to go out there and hoe and sling your old pussy around, be my guest. But don't let kids suffer in the process of that. All right? If that's how you want to live your life, live it. But don't bring 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 kids in to endure what you got going on. You understand? That's my thing. I mean, they can hoe all they want, but don't let these kids, man, have to suffer, man. Okay? Because let's be clear, man, a lot of us as black people, a lot of us don't come from means. We don't come from money. We just don't. And a lot of us, we had mamas who didn't teach us how to get up out of the dire straits that she's in. She wasn't teaching us how to get up out of those dire straits. She passed down that poverty, despair, and pain onto us. So we have a tendency to get back out there and repeat that same cycle of poverty, pain, despair. And we never break out of it. We just keep continuing that cycle over and over and over again. But at some point, that cycle has to be broken. And the only way that cycle is going to be broken is if, number one, these women who find themselves without a man, but with child, they not only are going to have to focus more on this child, they may have to find a male mentor for this child. And I say this a lot too, whether it be a karate instructor, football instructor, baseball coach, whoever, grandpa, uncle, somebody. Because I believe that a lot of these women who find themselves with 5 and 6 and 7 kids and no damn husband, and these kids' fathers are not in their lives, I think a lot of these women, man, are crying out for help. They're crying out for help. That's why they continue to chase men. That's why they continue to be in the club, in the trap house. That's why they do a lot of the shit that they do. It's a cry for help. Because no one can tell me that a woman who got 6 or 7 goddamn kids, okay, and none of these kids' fathers are in their life, you cannot tell me that this woman do not need help, despite of what the hell she's saying, especially if they all little. You got like 7 damn kids and they all under the age of like 12. Yeah, it's kind of rough. I know. I have 4, all right? And me and my kid's mother were together. When they was all little, it was hell. And it was 2 of us. So I can imagine what it would be like to have 6 and 7 and 8 and you by yourself. I know it's got to be rough because more than likely you got that many children, your ass probably broke. I mean, you're probably right there on the poverty line, if not below it. That's a fact too. Okay? That's a fact too. And like I said, we need to shine some sunlight on this shit. See, this is the thing with us black folks, okay? And I say us black folks because my ass is included in the mix. We often take these things and we want to shove them in a cave in the darkness and forget that they're there. We want to forget that it's there. We want to forget that it happened. And see, we get a lot of that shit from our mother because that's what our mother does. Our mother pushes shit into the cave. She don't want to talk about these fucking people that have raped you when she was younger. She don't want to talk about how she mistreated you when you were younger. She doesn't want to talk about how she went out with her clothes and her dresses and her wigs and her weaves and blew money in the club, in the bar, in the trap house while y'all was sitting home eating roaches. Mom don't want to talk about that. She wants to put that in the cave as if it didn't happen. And I believe we should be talking about this shit. We should be shining light on it. Because we need to know that this shit is not normal. We need to realize that this shit is not right. And we need to realize that this shit is fucking up these kids. Now, I'll say again, is it every single woman out there? Of course not. That would be insane if it was every freaking woman out there. But it's way too many. It's more than it should be. Because I know some. I grew up with people who had a mother. And it was 8 of them. And she had no husband. They lived a horrible life, man. They lived a horrible life. They were dirt poor, feet hanging out the shoes, wholly tore up clothes. Mama still laying up with men, running them out the house so they can be outside while she's in there entertaining men with her 7, 8 kids outdoors. And practically every one of those people that I knew that had that life, most of them are dead, in jail, on crack, or walking the streets living pillar to post. Practically all of them who grew up in that life. Why? Because, see, their mother set their destiny a long time ago. She set their destiny a long time ago with the shit that she did. with the shit that she did. And like you were saying earlier, as men, let's talk about the men. As men, you grow up in a house as a young boy and you watch your mama traipse men in and out the house. You watch your mama have a baby in her gut every year, every other year. You watch how some of these men treat your mama. You watch how your mama throws everything to the side and is off with these men. I knew people, man, where their mama would leave them home for 2 and 3 days at a time while she just ran and ripped, and she would leave them there with no food and all that kind of shit. Because me and my sister, we used to take them food and shit. We used to give them sneakers. We used to give them clothes. We used to do that shit because we would go to their house. Their mama wouldn't even be there. She been gone for 2 days. All they got in between 5 of them is a loaf of bread. Shit, we would go to our house, man, and put fucking canned goods in a bag. Me and my sister, and we would take them shit, and shit. We would catch hell when we got home because my mom would be like, what the hell y'all doing taking this food out of here? And my old man knew. He'd be like, well, I know what they doing. They taking the food to those people down the road. I knew people like that. I knew them. I went to school with these people. I played ball with these people. And not only was mama chasing men and shit, man, she abused the hell out of them. Beat the shit out of them. I knew one guy, man, for punishment, his mother used to throw him in scalding hot water in the fucking tub. Scalding hot water in the fucking tub. Because see, what really messes us up as black folks, man, is when a lot of us don't have fathers, right? Now, when you think about a father, you think about a provider and absolutely a protector, right? Now, oftentimes when we think protector, we thinking that the old man just protects you from, the rapist down the street, the boogeyman in the backyard, or the monster underneath the bed. But most of the time, the person that your old man protects you from the most is your goddamn mama. Because see, if your father's there, she's not going to be beating you as much. She's not going to be berating you as much, calling you dumb, calling you stupid, calling you black, telling you you look like your daddy. She's not going to be doing that as much, if at all, if your father lives there. She's just not. Because, see, your father, he stands as a barrier between you and your mama, all right? Because, see, she already knows that men, we protect our children. And she knows whatever she wants to do to this child, she's going to have to go through you at some point, depending on what it is. So fathers don't just protect children from the boogeyman. He protects children from the boogie lady that lives in the crib. And a lot of these kids endure a lot of this abuse and neglect for the simple fact that they don't have a father. Because what do? They take their frustrations out on these children. The frustrations that they have with being alone. The frustrations that they have with these dudes that didn't stick around. With these dudes that didn't get down on bended knee for them. They take these frustrations out. That's what I believe. Because why else would you think that freaking women would be beating kids so much and breaking broomsticks across their backs and beating them with extension cords and clothes hangers and braided switches, making them bleed and all this kind of bullshit? That's frustration, man. That's frustration. Because there's nothing a child can do that will make you beat him down to the floor like that. And I've said this many times too, and I'm going to let you comment on this, brother B.M.T. I have seen with my own eyes growing up, and I've seen as recent as maybe 6 months ago, You see these women beat the holy hell out of these children. I mean, beat them till they just on the floor and they just can't move or nothing. Especially the little tykes when they 2 and 3 years old. And you know what happens after this woman done took a shoe or a belt or a stick or whatever else she can get her damn hand on and beat the hell out of this little tyke? What's the first thing he does? He gets right up.
I love you, mama.
And he's reaching for the same person who just got done brutalizing him. Nobody tell me that that shit doesn't augment us. No one can tell me that. That's just like if you was to go out in the street and a person beat you down to the ground and you get up and hug them. I mean, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. And I can say that I've done seen that. I've done been through that. I've had my fair share of that because, like I said, my mama's favorite thing was she'd always tell us, I'm going to have to kill you. I've been beat with a belt, iron cord, extension cord. You know, those, I'm not talking about the erection. I'm talking about the orange extension cord, the industrial cord that they use. That thing cuts through wind. And the thing about it is, see, a lot of y'all think that your dad, and I'm going to do a topic about that. I'm going to do a little documentary talking about the reason why some fathers came around. It's a good thing your father didn't come around. It probably kept you alive. Because some of these women, they have a lot of unsolved daddy issues that they don't want to talk about. And so they don't know how to actually deal with that when it comes to dealing with a man. And if a man does not want to be bothered with them, guess what? That anger or pent up frustration because they never learn how to deal with it, it actually starts to accumulate and build. And it triggers towards that child. Now, sometimes that's why fathers are natural. See, I know they always say the mother is a natural protector, but actually the daddy is the vanguard. There's a reason why little girls always like to get up under their daddy. There's a reason why the son always idolizes the daddy. Okay, I know what I'm saying. You know, because it's that protection. That as long as I know I'm around daddy, I'm good. Now I understand sometimes they want to penetrate it as, you know, that the daddy does not care to protect. See, but if you ever been around a man that is in his children's life, you will be surprised how much strain and stress that man goes through to see that child survive and eat. I know some men that just in talking to the girl will be thinking that they bringing food and stuff by so much for them, but not really for them, but actually because he sees the needs of the kids. See, some of y'all don't want to say that. He's not even a father, but because he sees, sometimes I came by just to go get some ass, and I would see that these kids need that kid needs some diapers. That damn thing looking pretty full and yellow. You know, I'll go by the gas station. You know, they sell diapers at the gas station. You know, I'll go buy me a pack for like $4. You know what I'm saying? Go buy me some little ramen and some little Hot Pockets. I showed a boy how to make ramen. Gave him some Pop-Tarts I had in my car for me to go to work. You know what he did with that Pop-Tarts? He took the Pop-Tarts and he put it under the bed. I said, why you put that under your bed, boy? He said, well, so that way I can eat. Sometimes mom, when you don't cook, you know, I got me some food. You see, this is some stuff. See, y'all always like to think it's always just the bad guy, the man. It's not always. It's not. And you see, the thing about it is, sometimes that these men, They have to start stepping up. We got this is why I tell a lot of you men, y'all not. I was gonna do a story about a woman who literally took her child and threw it in the river on the freeway because she couldn't have the father. And you see, this is why a lot of these issues happen when they say your daddy ain't shit. Well, what the hell am I? I'm 50% my daddy. When they do things or they get involved with people just to piss off that man, even if it means the well-being of that child. You see, that's a dangerous game. Because as they always say, there's nothing worse than the scorn of a woman. Ain't saying about no man, but of a woman. And you see, that as a young man, I learned that very well. My mom would be so busy running out, going to the boom boom room to go hang out with her friends. Her boyfriend at the time, he was a truck driver. He would bring Chinese food by. He said, "Boy, you didn't eat yet?" I said, "No." I think she made some rice and some pork and beans. This man will go take the car, go back down to the Chinese restaurant, bring us some food. Me and my brother right there eat there right there in front of him while we watching kung fu movies. I said, "Why you did that? You're not my daddy." He said, "Shh, I don't know, man." But see, as I got older now, I understood that some men is just genetically in our mindset that we understand that, damn it, that used to be me. But see, we don't want to say that out loud. And see, it's hard because we understand that, just like Prophet of Thought was saying, that we're not worried about you black women anymore. I'm not. I'm going to be for real. I'm going to be for real. B.M.T, this is me speaking. I'm not worried about you black women anymore.
Nope.
I understand we can't do shit with some of y'all. Just leave y'all alone, give y'all part of a country and let y'all just go there. But these black kids, but let's be for real, black men aren't running the black community anymore. It's these ratchet queens and their tyrannical little princes of terrors. And everybody is seeing it now. And you see what's going on. I give a shout out to the woman who said, "Listen, I got 2 kids and I'm putting myself through nursing school. They're going to my mama's house, but I'm paying my bill and I'm doing what I need to do so that I can get us the hell out of here." I literally talked to a friend of mine, my wife's friend. She having issues. I said, "Listen, you take your kids, you pack up your bag, y'all come down here. I can get you a job and you can build yourself back up." Can you do that without a man? Or do you have to have a man between your legs? She looked at me hard like, "Oh, what, you gonna say it to me like that?" I said, "I gotta know where your conviction is at. Are you willing to bust your ass and get your life together? But you're pretty fucked up." And you see, that's something that a lot of that's why it's easy for black men now, especially for me. Because when I realized the fuckery that I myself was protruding out, I could start rebuilding myself. You see, that's why it's getting easier for black men now to start doing stuff for themselves, because we can see and we're open to admit that we are very much flawed and have fuckery. We're not going around telling people that the black man is God. I'm not, I don't hardly hear no black men saying that stupid shit. If I'm God, then where's my kingdom? Where's my heaven? But I tell you right now, we understand that, listen, those children, they need help. And black women, y'all, listen, y'all, right now, you got more white women taking care of y'all children than y'all are. I know you don't like me saying it, but now you got white women and Hispanic women stepping in to do what you were not doing for the past 15 to 20 years. You don't believe me? Go to the social service. Go see who's up in there the most. White women adopting black kids. Go out there and see who's talking to your sons when they go to school now. And get out. A white woman. I'm not trying to be racial about it, but I'm just trying to be for real. But they understand that the modular mom, I don't want that. I don't want what that BS. Y'all think y'all look cute in the car singing all that doggone music? I suck on this, I drink on that, I pop this, and you out there in the club looking like some little teenager? Getting a nice little tramp stamp tattoo across your chest with a whole sentence on only God can judge me, quoting scriptures and verses. Probably don't even know the goddamn verse even mean. But see, that's how some of these mindsets work. It amazes me, and this is something I asked one woman. She said, well, you saying the black woman won the community, but guess what? What do you got? I said, you know, it's funny. I'm glad you said that. I said, if I don't have anything, but you've been running the community, where's the generational wealth passed on to the kids? She said, excuse me, come again? I said, I didn't stutter. Where's the generational wealth for you going to school that you're going to pass on to your child? You see, that's one thing that a man understands. Let me tell you something that's so interesting about a man. See, a man, when he has a child, one thing that he worries about, that he wants, is to have something to pass on to his child before he leaves this earth. Because it's not in what we are doing. It's in the legacy that we leave behind. And you see, that's why men fight so hard. That's why I believe the system understood that those black men did not build Black Wall Street for themselves. They built that so that way their children had something to grow up in, to have. Go look at Harlem back then when blacks ran it. It wasn't a bad place. Not like how people make it seem like it was. It was not a bad place. We took pride in our stuff. You cannot get the black woman to say, I don't need my black man. But see, when you took in all that type of ideology of that feminism crap, see, that's where you started going by the wayside. Now time when you want to look for the black sons, guess where they at? They're in prison. Sitting right there. I remember one time my cousin told me that, you know, he met his dad in prison. In another rival gang. He said, I was about to stab him, but he looked too much like me. I said, God damn, Angelo. I'm sorry that you had to meet your daddy like that. He said, nah, he was straight. You know, we worked out together. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't had no beef with him, but I mean, we wear different colors. And I went to his mom. I said, why didn't you tell him that? You said his daddy was dead. Shit, he was dead to me.
You see that shit?
She didn't even blink. When I say prophet, she didn't even blink.
This is the shit I'm talking about.
She didn't have no. And you know, I know there's a lot of women that do that foul shit. They tell their kids that your daddy's dead or gone, knowing that nigga is right down the damn street, right there in the next building on the 3rd floor, right there. Your daddy's gone. I don't know who your father is. I'm your daddy. Well, y'all black women need to stop saying that stupid shit.
Yeah. Please stop.
Please stop saying that. And you can't say that me and Prophet are over exaggerating on that shit, because I too many times. There's no way the man that I work with looks just like the kid when I drop my kids off at school. I said, God damn, do you have any kids? I don't know, man. You see, that's something I understood, that the power of a black woman. A black woman can have a child and never tell that man. But you had no problem going to the system and telling the system his name. But you'll never tell him. See, that's the fuckery of the erratic black mama sometimes. Now, if you know you didn't do that, that's on you. So you shouldn't feel convicted. But I can't lie, man. I've had that happen. I've seen it. Woman went 2 years before she told the man, you need to do something about your son. I said, Andrew, you got a child? News to me, bro. I said, why didn't you tell him? Well, he was out here talking to other women and doing his own damn thing and talking he gonna go to college. So I said, bump him, I'm gonna do me. I said, do you know the baby's his? Well, of course, I know it's his. I had sex with him. How many other people did you have sex with? See, that's another thing. That's why we're trying to tell y'all need to stop hopping around from penis to penis, especially y'all do it in front of y'all kids. I mean, before my friend finished graduating, he already had 6 other siblings. And 3 of them were right behind him. He said, I never got time to myself in the bathroom. All the way up till I was 14, we had to share. 2 of us had to use the bathroom at a time. One used the sink, the other one used the shower. That was how it was. I knew what it was like to take food, to take some canned goods that we had, and we used to take the canned goods that we didn't care for, take it to the next door neighbor. They had pinto beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? Just like his dad, my dad knew the same thing. My dad one time saw us walking over there with our bicycles, but they were our friends. He drove up with his truck and walked right behind us, opened the door. I said, oh, we were scared. He took 2 packs of meat, put it right there in the refrigerator. Said, put your bikes on the truck. Let's go. I said, Daddy. He did, son, you can't help that situation. You can't help them. I said, there got to be something we can do. All he said, be better men. Know what kind of, and the thing about it was, and see, that's the thing about it, because a lot of Black women force their daughters to grow up really fast. I've seen a lot of young girls have to learn how to be their mama, have to learn how to be the mama. A lot of young boys try to play daddy or big brother or daddy, because mama was never home.
Yeah. Especially if they're the oldest. If they're the oldest and they done got to be like 9, 10, 11, and mama got 5 more, that's like 6 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. I mean, they are going to be the other parent in most cases. They're going to be the other parent. Yep. They're going to be the one watching these kids. They're going to be the ones taking care of these kids. They're going to be the ones feeding these kids oftentimes, especially the girls. I mean, if the girl if she's the oldest and she's like 10, 11, 12, and she got a bunch of little siblings that's like 4 and 5 and 6, she is going to be taking care of them, especially if mama's still in the trap house, mama's still in the club, mama's still monkey branching from penis to penis. She's still doing that. That 10, 11, 12-year-old is going to become the default babysitter, default nana, default caretaker, default cook, default cleaner, default maid. And see, we as Black folks, see, that shit is normal to us. See, we think that's perfect. Yeah, we think that's perfectly normal for a 10-year-old to be watching a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old,
cooking and cleaning and all that stuff.
Cooking, doing all that shit. We think that's perfectly normal. Yeah, it's normal because see, mama need to be out. And it's not even like a lot of times these mothers aren't out working or going to nursing school or going to get their GED. No, they're in the fucking club. They're in the fucking trap house. They're somewhere chasing a penis. All right. It's one thing. Now, I could go along with it if, say, the 12-year-old has to watch the little ones while mama is at work. The 12-year-old has to watch the little ones while mama's in school, while mama's getting her GED, while mama's trying to go to a vocational course or something like that. I can understand that completely. But the 12-year-old shouldn't have to watch the 5-year-old, the 4-year-old, the 3-year-old, and the 2-year-old while you out trying to get another one in your damn gut. All right. She shouldn't have to watch the kids at night because you want to be up in the bar, up in the trap house, up in the club. She shouldn't have to watch the kids while you monkey branch from penis to freaking penis. Because, see, that's how all of them got there, especially when all of them is trick babies to begin with. They're all trick babies. The fathers have nothing to do with the children whatsoever. They living from pillow to post, all right? The damn kids is eating roaches, all right? They're eating roach sandwiches. So the last thing you should be doing on top of the pressure that's already on that child is making this child watch these little kids. Because I don't believe a 10, 11, 12-year-old is capable of watching little tiny children. I don't even think that should be forced upon them, to be honest. If they 10, man, sometimes, man, you got these women, man, I've seen these stories where they have the 8-year-old home watching the 5-year-old, the 4-year-old, and the 3-year-old, and the 2-year-old. The oldest person in the house is 8, 9. And we think this shit's perfectly normal. Yeah, it's normal. This is how we black folks do shit. And it's ridiculous because, see, a man would never put a child in that type of predicament because we know the 8-year-old ain't capable of watching the 4, 3, 2, and the 1-year-old. We know that right off the rip. Okay, we know that. But see, this is what I think happens often with these old mamas, okay? What happens is a lot of these kids, and I spoke about this earlier in the hour, a lot of these kids are here, and these women didn't really want them, man. They didn't want these children. They didn't, okay? They want to go out and fuck. They didn't want the kid. The kid just kind of came, you know, because a lot of times these women, they just kind of drift into pregnancy. You know, they just drift into it, you know, like a old dinghy that was out to sea and finally made its way into shore. There's nobody driving it. There's nobody paddling it. It just kind of drifted in there. And that's how a lot of these women get into pregnancy. They drift into pregnancy. And usually they drift into pregnancy with multiple dudes. So a lot of these kids, man, these women didn't fucking want them. A lot of our mothers didn't want us, man. She went out there and fucked, got pregnant, and here we are. And she definitely is haunted by not wanting us when the nigga who squirted us into her disappeared. Because see, now not only is she stuck with a kid that she really didn't want, she's stuck with a kid that she really didn't want, and she's by her damn self. So of course she takes it out on the kid or kids. Of course she's frustrated with the kids. And of course, because I've said this before too, I believe these women who have these 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 kids by 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 people, I think that another reason why they do this is because, see, it's just like cocaine. See, they had that first baby, right? And they're hoping that Negro that knocked them up sticks around, that he comes in, gets on bended knee, possibly, marry them, drive them off to paradise and put them in a house with a picket fence. And then it doesn't happen, right? So just like that first hit of cocaine, they try it again, looking for that same high. They knocked up again. But every time they do it, it's never the same as the first time. It's like they chasing that thing, man. It's like they chasing that thing. Because no one can tell me that a woman can have babies by 6 and 7 and 8 different people, and that shit feels good. No one can tell me that this woman looks in the mirror and feels good about herself when she got 8 little Negroes running around with different faces. They all got different faces because they all got different daddies. No one can tell me that a woman who has all these little kids isn't, number one, irresponsible as hell, and number two, she was searching for something, and number three, more than likely, she got some hoe in her blood, especially if they close in age. If they close in age, like they only like a year apart, and she's got 9 of them, she literally just dumped them out, and a few months later, right back on another penis, dumped them out, a few months later, right back on another penis, because you got to think about if she's got 9, 10 kids, and they all close in age, like a year apart, what was she doing when she had 2, 3, 4, 5? What was going on in her mind then? Where were these kids at when she was somewhere fucking getting another one in her gut? Where were they at? You got 6 kids here. One's 10, one's 9, one's 7, one's 5, one's 4. Where were they when you were, where were the 2 when you were making number 3? Where were the 3 when you were making number 4? Where were the 4 when you were making number 5? You understand? So you talking about people, man, who are on a whole total different level of irresponsibility. And see, no one wants to talk about that, because it's dear old mom, dear old mom who treated us like shit, starved us, left us home by ourselves for days on end. But she did the best she could. Bullshit, she didn't. She fucked your life up and gave you a miserable childhood. And the crazy thing is, a lot of these fucking women, they did it on purpose. They did this shit on purpose. You know why they did it on purpose? Because they never sat back and tried to think about the children. Not themselves, not how many penises they could monkey branch to. They never thought about these children. And they look up and they 35 years old, 36 years old, and they got 6 kids, 7 kids, 8 kids. Not only has she ruined their lives, she ruined hers. She ruined hers. Because when you got all them little kids, you got 1, he's 2, he's 3, he's 4, he's 5, where you gonna work at? How you gonna go to school? You got 6 kids, all under the age of like 8. How the hell you working? How the hell you going to school? Who the hell watching all of them? You can't do nothing until the damn youngest ones are starting to go to school. Long as they little, they like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What you doing? You taking all 5 of them to some babysitter? Especially if you ain't got a mama who willing to watch them, or aunt or grandma who ain't willing to watch them. Your ass is stuck. You can't do shit. Because, see, you got 9 kids. So all you can do is sit on your ass. What you gonna do? Where you gonna work? Where the kids at? You done filled the house up with goddamn kids in the course of 9 years. You done filled the house up with about 6, 7 kids. You ain't just ruined their fucking life by doing that. You ruined yours. You ruined yours. Because, see, you ain't going to be able to do shit until, like I said, till them youngest ones start to go to school. Especially if you study having them all the way up to the time to you like in your 30s. Shit, you'll look up and you'll be fucking 50-something years old and you'll still have fucking kids in the house. You still have kids in the house. Lets me know right then and there, you're fucking irresponsible. So if you're an irresponsible fucking person, I find it hard to believe that you're going to teach these children to be responsible. They're not going to learn any responsibility until they get the fuck away from you. Because that's usually what happens. Long as those children stay around that irresponsible ass woman, man, they never amount to shit. That's just the real. And if people can get mad at me, I don't care. As long as they stay around her irresponsible black ass, they're never going to amount to anything. They have to get away from her. You understand? They have to get away from her. They have to get away from the irresponsibility. They have to get away from the irresponsible actions, the irresponsible decisions, the irresponsible pathology. They have to get away from that. Mm-hmm. That's the only way they can kind of get their bearings. That's the only way they're going to get their bearings. They're not going to get their bearings living with this irresponsible woman. Because one thing I've noticed watching some of these women, not all of them, but watching some of them, because like I say, I know a few. One thing I notice about them, when they irresponsible as hell, when they young, like in their late teens and 20s, a lot of them, they never evolve and become responsible. It never happens. The irresponsibility just continues right through their 30s and 40s. These are the women that you see 60, 70 years old, sitting out on a porch somewhere, living in the same project apartment at 65 that she lived in when she was 25. She owns nothing. She doesn't have a car. Everything she owns can fit in the trunk of a car. She has no bank account. She has nothing saved. Nothing. She has nothing. She's 65. That's it. All she has is her Social Security. That's it. She has nothing else. Because, see, during those years that we used to try to accumulate shit, she wasn't accumulating anything except children. That's it. She wasn't accumulating anything except children. And guess what? Those children grow up. They grow up and they move on. That's why I think a lot of times, these women don't mind the son living in the basement, even though he's 45. They don't mind because, see, that's their investment. You understand? Mm-hmm. That's their investment, living in the attic. So they don't mind that he lives there and he's 40. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care because, see, that's all they have. And you see these women. Everybody see these women, man, these old women sitting on porches, walking in the supermarket by themselves. A lot of them, the goddamn kids don't even want to be bothered with them. Ain't no man around because, see, the men stopped coming around once her ass got to be about 40, especially when her crow's feet start to show. See, it's all well and good for these old mamas as long as men are continuing to come around and be entertained by them. But see, that eventually stops, especially when you got 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 kids. I mean, you might can get some dude to come up in there and fuck, but that's going to be pretty much it. There's not going to be no bended knee. There's not going to be no engagement. There's not going to be any of that. It's just not. And once you see, a lot of these women grow old alone, and I've talked about this before too. A lot of these women start growing old alone, not when they're 60 and 70, man. A lot of that shit starts when they like 40, 45. They start growing old alone then. Because, see, once they get to be like 40 years old, they got 6, 7, 8 kids running around the house. They're invisible to men. They're invisible. They can't even do shit to get men. What they gonna do to get a man? A man see a woman walking down the street with 5, 6, 7 kids, she's fucking invisible to him, man. She's invisible. So dudes don't want to be bothered with them. So now they 40 years old, 45 years old, the crow's feet have set in. The ass has drooped. The breasts don't look like oranges or grapefruits anymore. They look like 2 slices of pizza with an olive at the tip of them when they take off their bra. The breasts look like 2 slices of pizza now. So now they are just totally screwed. They're totally screwed. So now that they're totally screwed, all they have is those children. And what do they do to those children? They brutalize them, beat them for everything, scold them for everything. Don't have fucking help these kids with their damn homework, have no interest in their schoolwork, none. Especially if she's a chick that's still into partying and shit. Now she'll group up with her friends and make it to the club, make it to the bar, make it to the trap house, but never grouping up to go up to the school to see what's going on with the kids. Never grouping up to have a study group to teach the goddamn kids how to read, how to write, how to count. This is what pisses me off about these women more than anything else. Because I read a lot of studies about children, man. Because I think the children are way more important than these goddamn women. I just believe the children are more important than these old mamas. And I cite this study a lot. And y'all can look it up if you want to. Only 17% of black children are reading at grade level up until like the 4th grade, all the way up to like the 4th grade. Only about 17%. In math, up until the 4th grade, only about 20% are on grade level. You know what that means? That other 80% of those children, they can't read, can't write, can't count, can't spell, can't string a decent sentence together, none of that shit. But you got to think, is it just the educational system? Because think about it. You with your mama 5 years before you even go to a schoolhouse. You with her 4 or 5 years. What's she doing those 4 or 5 years? She's not teaching you colors. She's not teaching you numbers. She's not reading your books. She's not teaching you how to count, how to write your name. None of that shit. All those 4 or 5 years, she just let you roam, just let you be alive. She's not teaching you none of that shit. So when you do go to kindergarten, guess what you are when you get in there? You fucking behind. Why? Because other people's parents was reading them baby books, teaching them how to count, teaching them colors, teaching them numbers, teaching them how to write. He get in there, he don't even know how to hold a goddamn pencil. He don't know the difference between a 3, a 8, or a 6. That's what bothers me about a lot of these women, is that they don't invest in the children. They see the children as their investment because that's all they have. But they don't invest anything in the children. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about fucking time. The time that they spend on Facebook and Snapchat and fucking Instagram trying to get likes and views instead of spending time with these little ones, trying to get these little ones ready for school, ready to learn, ready to take in some educational material. Don't you think that time could be spent a little better on shit like that instead of posing for Facebook flicks and Instagram flicks and goddamn WhatsApp flicks and all this kind of nonsense? But this is what we have. And all that stuff, man, comes back. We talking about karma tonight. That karma that these mamas eventually feel, you see it on the faces of these old ass women that you see sitting around on these porches, the ones where their children don't come around, the ones where they don't get to see their grandchildren. They're just fucking alone. Hopefully they got an old friend that's just like them that they can sit on the porch and mind everybody's business and drink lemonade with. That is their karma. Why? Because, see, they're not going to reap anything from that investment. You understand? It's like, I'll say this again. They see kids as an investment, but they don't invest in the kids. And see, you have an investment that you think is an investment, but that investment eventually goes off and just goes away. It's like if I took $100 bill and wrapped it up and put it on a bird's foot. Now, I got that $100 as long as I keep that bird in a cage. Once I let that cage open, that bird flies off, that $100 gone. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They think, I believe that a lot of these women believe that once they've had children, once they've had the children, that's it. They have completed the trifecta. They've completed it. And a lot of them believe that feeding half-ass, clothing half-ass, housing half-ass is the equivalent of raising. It's not. All you're doing is providing provisions for that child. Raising that child includes all of that and then some. Giving that child counsel, instruction, teaching, integrity, all that comes into play. All of that is part of raising a child, educating that child. And I'm not just talking about school. I'm not just talking about school. Educating that child in life. Educating that child to not live in poverty like your black ass. These are the things we need to be teaching these kids, man. These are the things these women need to be teaching these children. It's what they need to be teaching them. A lot of them need to get out of the goddamn club, get out of the goddamn trap house, and get home to their kids. Quit chasing men. Quit having kids if your ass already broke. I don't care what nobody says. If you continuing to have children and your ass already living pillar to post, you irresponsible as hell. I don't care what nobody say. You're irresponsible. Because if you struggling like hell with 2, what the hell you gonna have 3, 4, 5, and 6 for? What you think that kid gonna fall out of that hole with a fistful of $100 bills or something? Every kid you have, you're gonna get more and more broke. You gotta realize that. I mean, that's simple mathematics. All right? That's simple mathematics. And I think that we have allowed this type of activity to be disguised by the oppression that we think of all the time. We've allowed it to be disguised by quote unquote normality. Like this is somehow part of our culture for this shit to be normal. And now you'll hear people say, oh, other people do it too. I don't give a shit what other people do. That doesn't justify us doing it. Doesn't justify us doing it. And a lot of us grow up in these conditions. And a lot of us, man, we could never get those conditions out of our fucking head. That's why a lot of us can never get right. That's why a lot of us can never accomplish shit. That's why a lot of us just cannot figure it out. because we have been imprisoned. We've been shackled by this pathology of oppression and these old slavery time ways. Why? Because it's the shit that our mothers have put on us. Why do you think children that are raised by single men do better than children who are raised by single women? Why do you think they do better? They do better because men spend most of our time teaching our children than anything else. We teach them, we provide for them, and we protect them from all threats, foreign and domestic. Women do not, most of them. Most of them don't. They don't protect them from any foreign threats, and they don't protect them from the domestic threats. Because I'll say this again. I mean, when you got 60, 70, 80% of our young girls getting molested by the time they're 18, and 25% of our young boys getting molested by the time they're 18, it's like, what the hell are these women doing? Oh, you mean to tell me out of that whole 60, 70, 80% that it's happening to, they didn't have no inkling of it? None of them? None of them saw the signs? None of them freaking none of them freaking couldn't vet the guys that they brought into the house? Cause shit, what 90%, 80, what is it, 80 or 90% of the times when these children are getting molested, it's by somebody that the kid knows. It's somebody that's in the kid's circle of influence. It's stepdad. It's mama's boyfriend. It's Uncle Jimmy. It's Aunt Katie. It ain't like these people are dropping out of the sky raping these children. These are people that the goddamn mama is giving access. And I say this all the time. These women have given these people access to these children. These people ain't falling out of the sky. These are people right in that child's circle of influence. Usually somebody mama know. Somebody mama done dropped the kid off to. Somebody mama done left with the kid. Somebody mama is dating and got this person watching the kid. Mama is usually the main factor. She's usually the main factor to why this child is molested, because of her denial, because of her inability to screen folks, her irresponsibility as far as the child goes, and her fucking selfishness. Her selfishness. I'm going to tell y'all a story, then I'm going to give it up to Brother B.M.T. When I was coming up as a young guy, I must have been maybe 15, 16 at the time in my old hometown in New York. And it was right when I think it was right before crack really got popular. You know, people were calling it freebase and all this kind of stuff back then. And it was a lady, right? She lived on the other side of town from where we lived at. And she had 3 daughters. And I believe one was 8. One was, I think, 10. And she had another one that I think was like 12. And she got hooked up on the freebase on the crack, right? Now, she started out selling herself, right? But she got so strung out on the crack and the freebase that eventually she just started looking like holy hell. So, you know, if you old fucked up looking crackhead, you know, you ain't gonna get too many offers, right? Nope. So she started looking just straight toe up. Do you know that this woman ended up getting busted because dudes didn't want to fuck with her anymore because she looked so horrible, that this woman started selling her little girls for this shit. Every single one of them. And see, I'm not just mad at her. I'm mad at the Negroes who are going over there doing the shit. They giving this woman crack so they can lay down with an 8-year-old, with a 10-year-old, with a 12-year-old. But see, I have to go back to her because, see, she was in control of that. Now, mind you, these dudes is creeps. And they locked a lot of people up, too, during that time. I think in total, they locked her up and they locked about 15 dudes up. Because, I mean, she was doing it on a regular basis. It wasn't like it was this one time. Okay? It wasn't like it was this one time. She was doing this shit on a regular basis. She was doing it over the course of about 2 months until somebody spilled the beans and they locked about, I think they locked about 15, 20 guys up, locked her up. And these fools are actually over there laying up with these little girls, giving this woman crack so they can lay up with her little daughters.
Wow.
And you know what she was doing while they was laying up with her daughters? She out in the front room smoking crack while these dudes is laying with her little girls. When I read about that shit in the paper, man, I thought that, well, first I thought she was just a despicable person. And I thought these niggas was despicable too. But what I thought was, what's going to happen to these little girls? What happens to them now? What do they grow up into? Okay? What do they grow up into after going through that? Watching their own black-ass mama pimp them for cocaine and shit. What happens to them? I mean, now, the girls, you know, they're adults now. God only knows what kind of lives they had. God only knows how they turned out. But there's so much of this type of shit going on, man, within black society. And I think that the fact that these goddamn women who have these children, many of them so goddamn irresponsible, such horrible mamas. I'm just horrible. They doing these children a disservice. And to be honest with you, one of the best things we could do, man, about a situation like this is the brothers. And I'm talking to y'all now, and I'm gonna give it up to B.M.T. You brothers, and I've said this many, many times before. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. If you done messed around and stuck your penis in one of these old raggedy trap house, always worrying about her hair, always worrying about her clothes, irresponsible hell ass hoes. If you done messed around and stuck your penis in one of these women and she done got knocked up, I ain't mad at you. I ain't gonna hold it against you because you slept with this old trap house hoe. But I will hold it against you if you let this old trap house ass woman raise this kid, man. Because you know she ain't shit. The best thing for you to do, brother, is get the kid. Because you know what? You will be a better parent, even though you don't know shit about parenting, than she will, even if she got 3 more before yours. Because I'm a true believer that a kid learns more from a man. He learns more from a man going to visit his father living in a tent in the woods on the weekend than he'll learn from his mama living in the mansion for a damn month. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. Go ahead, brother B.M.T.
Okay, I don't think I can top that. I don't think I can. Because you killed off on everything today. But I will end with this. We'll end with this before I gotta go. I wanted to say this. That for you black women, y'all please start being considerate of what you do. I know at the end of the day, you have the authority. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. When I had a girl that was pregnant with my child, she had an abortion and put my child in a shoebox. This is something that we have to be real and understand that black women, they have authority over the children. They have the ear of the white man more than we do. And until we start recognizing that she is mentally sick right now, that's something that we don't want to say, that mama is sick. And though we keep trying to reference the good stuff, it's just like Prophet was saying, that that child can get beat and go through all types of issues and still will come back to mama, because it's a survival mental instinct inside of him. That's what he knows. That's what he excuses. When mama does something stupid, he understands that, hey, that's just mama just being mama. Don't say nothing about it. And you see, you got to be willing to actually start calling out these kind of things. Mama, why are you doing that? For those who have daughters, you'll start seeing the daughter start to act grown. I wanted to say something about that, because when the daughter has to grow up quickly and starts having to be around certain types of aspects of adulthood, she has to grow up pretty quickly. And just like Prophet was saying, when that man starts getting tired of mama, because mama's going to get old, he's going over to her. Because guess what, mama? Because you haven't been doing your job, she hasn't been able to develop as a child. She mentally developed as a woman. And because she's developed as a woman, guess what? Other men are going to holler at her, come at her. They're not worried about what you say. And that's something that we as men, we have to work on. Work on ourselves and start to understand that, listen, the best thing for you to do is not, you don't have to have a relationship with that woman, but your child. And if you can get hold of your child, do that. Spend time with that child. Actually make up and formulate a bond, so that way, even no matter how backwards mama is, these kids have a forward beacon lighthouse shining, trying to pull them in. All right, guys. I got nothing more I can say, because Prophet already killed everything for me. I can't say nothing more.
Well, I'm just going to say this before we peel out. I don't want black folks to think that, well, I don't really care if black folks think this, but I don't want y'all to think that I'm just coming down on women, this and that. No, not coming down on women. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look out for these children that y'all are pumping out indiscriminately, haphazardly, recklessly. Okay? And I'm hoping to reach the brothers who have had these children with you. Okay? These brothers that you have copulated with and had these children. I'm really talking to them, because, see, a lot of them, they were raised by the mothers that we talked about tonight. And I want them, like Brother B.M.T. said, I want them to prevent these children that they have made with these women. I want these brothers to prevent this from happening to their child. That's where the cycle breaks. Go ahead and let her be an old trap house, whatever. Let her go ahead and continue to monkey branch from penis to penis to penis. Let her do that. Just make sure she don't do it with your kid. Try to make sure that your kid does not have to endure what you endured. You know what life was like, man, when you was growing up. You remember growing up with nothing to eat. You remember growing up with mama's boyfriend looking at you. You remember growing up with mama's boyfriend eating fucking your food. You grew up with mama breaking broomsticks across your back, whooping you for everything. You grew up with holy sneakers, raggedy clothes, but mama was dressed up every Friday night with her wig and her shoes on and her $200 dress. You know what that's like. So why would you put your seed through that? Why would you put your seed through it? Why would you allow it? See, the difference between men and women, brothers, is the shit we allow. Not just our genitalia, not just our brains, not just how we operate. It's the shit that we allow. Because you got to know, man, that 80% of our daughters and 25% of our sons would not be getting molested if most of us were being raised by our fathers. We know that. We know that that wouldn't be happening. You can say what you want, but we know it wouldn't be happening. Because, see, a lot of this shit is allowed. And I want to talk to y'all grown folks, those who have endured this bullshit from your mama. I will say this again. If your mama is still alive, I'm a true believer that not only should you forgive mama, you need to tell mama that you remember this shit.
Hello? Like that.
I don't know what happened, y'all. Shit stopped for a minute, but damn, and I lost BMT. Probably think I freaking cut him off. Some bullshit happened on my end, brother BMT. If you're still watching, I don't know what the hell happened, brother. What I want to say is this, man. After you said this, you need to forgive your mother, because see, the only way you can be free, man, is if you do these things. It's the only way you are going to be free. It's the only way you're going to be free. Because if you don't do this, you are going to be imprisoned by this stuff for the rest of your life. You're going to continue to carry this anger. You're going to continue to carry this angst. You're going to continue to carry this resentment. And even if mama ain't alive, you still need to do it. I say this all the time too. Write it down. Say it out loud. Sing a song. Write a poem. I don't know. But you need to confront this. You need to confront this. And you also need to forgive her. Because it's the only way you're going to free yourself, man. It's the only way you're going to free yourself from this nonsense. It's the only way you're going to truly become a complete person. And that's just the facts, man. It's just the facts. I think a lot of the problems that go on in Black society are a direct result of how many of us were treated by our mothers, by the shit our mother did to us, by the shit our mother allowed to happen to us, the shit that our mothers did not do for us. I'm a true believer that it has a lasting effect on us, especially those of us who didn't have any contact with our father and didn't know who our father was. Shit, you turned out to be an irresponsible. You turned out to be a person with no ambition, no drive. Don't get mad at your father, especially if you don't know him. He didn't have shit to do with that. You're that way because of her. You were influenced by her. You weren't influenced by him. You don't know him. It's her. She made you what you was. You ever notice how much better you did when you got away from her? Notice that? When you got away from her, you made better decisions, had more money, was able to do more shit, saw life a little clearer. Especially if you had old whole bag mom. Because let's face it, I'll say this again. Some of our mothers was hoes. She's an old hoe. Why you think it was 9 of y'all? What's up, TUD? I see you up there, brother. What's good? Why you think it's 9 of y'all? Y'all only a year apart. You think your mama wasn't hoeing? Yeah, I know she mom. I know she your mom. Shit, but you think her ass wasn't hoeing? Shit. Where you think all these illegitimate kids come from? You think all of them came from these stable relationships? Shit, a lot of us is trick babies. A lot of us straight trick babies. Mom just went out there and fucked somebody, and here we are. That's real. I'll say this again. All these hoes walking the earth. You think none of them was our mama? I know that's what we like to think, but it's not reality, man. And I'll say this again, too, before I peel out. The reality is this. Some of my mothers didn't even want us. She didn't even want us. You think I'm lying? I tell y'all what y'all do. I've told y'all this before. You want to really find out what's going on with mom? Especially if you never knew your father. Go ask mom. Say, hey, mom, why was I born? Ask her. She doesn't have an answer, man. There is no answer. There's no answer. There's no answer. Think you're going to get an answer to that question? Do it. I've told y'all this before. In the other stream I did called Yo Mama. Ask her. Say, Mom, why was I born? This is what you're going to get. You understand? South America. You don't like what I'm talking about? Get your ass out of here. So all you dudes know how to do is accuse somebody of being a coon. Shit. The biggest motherfucking coon around most of us are these fucking women and how they treat these fucking children. I don't give a shit about these old jackass women. It's the children that are important. They way more important than these fucking women who just run around and sling their old pussy and don't give a damn about these kids. They are the coons. They are the coons. Because all they do is feed these kids right into white folks' hands because they don't prepare them for life. Motherfuckers always in here talking about some cooning. Motherfucker, please. Fuck out of my damn chat room with that bullshit. You don't like what I'm doing? Get the fuck out. Period. The biggest motherfucking coons on this fucking earth is these fucking women who bring these fucking children into this fucking world and basically make them fodder for white folks. Those are the fucking coons, Negro, or should I say Negro ho? Those are the coons. Because guess what? The only way you ever going to try to make any dent in black society is if you start with the kids, not with these jackass motherfucking adults who are already lost like you. You motherfuckers can't even take in a message. You can't even take in a message. Everybody's a coon. Everybody's a this. Everybody's a that. That's all you motherfuckers know how to do. Sit around and call people coons. That's all you know how to do. Your motherfuckers ain't capable of doing anything else. Calling somebody a coon, motherfucker. I can buy and sell you, nigga. Over and over and over and over again. It's what I can do. If I'm a coon that can do that, motherfucker. And let me tell you something. All my kids is grown, and ain't none of them in jail. Ain't none of them on fucking crack. Ain't none of them dead in the street. And ain't none of them running around like you hollering coon every 5 seconds. Negro hoe. Get out of my damn chat room with that bullshit. Why are you cooning? You motherfuckers don't even know what cooning is. Taking some goddamn word you done got from the fucking white man and want to apply it to black folks. Do you motherfuckers even know what cooning means? Let me give you a tutorial. South America, you know, the hidden face fucking motherfuckers. Motherfuckers ain't even got the guts to show your face. Ain't even got the guts to show your face. Coon comes from the word barracoons. Negro hoe. Coons was the name of the fucking stockades where they kept the slaves before they shipped them off. And the reason why they start calling the people inside those cages coons, because they appeared to be happy to be there. You understand, Negro hoe? You understand? Now you know what the word coon means. Now you can go tell your friends. Go tell your friends. Negro hoe. Come up in here with that shit. Don't. You want smoke with TPOT, boy, you got it. Bring your ass up on this stream. You got something to talk about? Bring your ass up on the stream. Bring your ass up on here. If you ain't willing to do that, shut the fuck up. You ain't willing to come up on here, shut the fuck up. I told you niggas before. You got something to say, bring your ass up here. You know where to find me. I'm here every Wednesday and Thursday. Quit hiding behind your avatar. Bring your ass up here. You got something to talk about, but that you're not going to do, are you? Anyway, good show tonight, y'all. I even got to educate a jackass at the end of it. Now, tomorrow we're gonna have Q Butter on from NYC, Zyx's own Q Butter. That's my man. He was supposed to come on last week, but I mean, he's a busy dude. He got like 5,500 things going on. But I have spoken to him, and we're gonna get up tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all have y'all behinds here tomorrow. We are going to be talking about the confusion of consciousness, which is going to be another good one, because a lot of those dudes and women, I ain't going to just say dudes, a lot of those dudes and women who are quote unquote build their self within the realm of consciousness are just straight full of shit. Not all of them, but more of them than it should be. Okay? More of them than it should be. So we're going to go and we're gonna go in on that. Yeah. Me and OQ Butter one-on-one, like the old days, Anyway, I need y'all to get on down there to Prophet of Thought series on Facebook. That's Prophet of Thought, one word series, next word Word on Facebook. Get on down to the main page, like, share it, follow the channel. There's always some good stuff there. You can always catch up with me there. You can always find out what I'm doing down there. Also, get on down to the TPOT bandwagon page on Facebook. That's a personal page. You can actually send it a friend's request. I'll make sure it get clicked and accepted quick. Trust me, you have my word. Scout's honor. Also, get on down there to the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page. That's the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. I think we up to like, I don't know, 2,700, 2,800 last time I checked. I'm trying to get it to 3,000, something I've been trying to do for like the past 4-5 months. Still not there yet. So get on there, request to be a member. You will get accepted quick. Trust me, you will get accepted quick. Go ahead, become one of the 3,000. There's always some good stuff on there. It's not just my stuff on there. You know, there's other people's stuff on there because, you know, other people in the fan group, they post stuff on there too. So you ain't just got to listen to X talk shit. You can listen to other people talk shit too. Also, hit us up on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's right, Prophet of Thought on Instagram. Go ahead, follow me on Instagram. You guarantee to get a follow back. Also, check us out on Twitter, the old TPOT Media Twitter page. That's at TPOT Media. That's at TPOT Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, or I'm going to haunt your ass in your sleep for the next decade. Also, get on down there to the Prophet of Thought Series website, www.don'teventryi.wikifoundry.com. That's www.don'teventryi.wikifoundry.com. There's always some good stuff down there. I'm about to update the site. I got some shit on there that I got to switch around and do some other shit. But go there, check it out. There's always some good stuff down there. There's always some things to check out there. And there's also links to other things. There's links to news stories there. And also you can catch up on some of X's old archives from the Nubia Hood radio days. So get on down there and check it out. Once again, I want to thank the people in the chat. I want to thank my mods, always in there doing what they're supposed to do. Also, I want to thank you for stopping by tonight, spending some time with us, checking us out. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, for another good edition of DXL Dark Exodus live doubleheader, y'all. Y'all know we usually do it on Thursdays, but we did it Wednesday and Thursdays this week. Tomorrow, Q Butter gonna be in the house, so make sure you are here. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do. And let me go ahead and thank South America. I thank you for showing up and being a jackass nigger hole as well. With that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do. Open your minds. And we out of here, y'all. Peace, folks. only on TV.